Hello and welcome to a Smurpy video, and today we are looking at X-Men issue 26, The Fall of X. Yeah, that's right. And this is written by Gerry Duggan, and on the cover, this is our trading cover, and this is Miss Marvel, who has recently been announced as a mutant, although her mutant powers are hidden due to the fact that she, in human part, came first. So, very, very cool. It's a good start. It's got a decades of amazing work. Sorry, I don't know what that's about. So there's this little quote from Ben Urich about Wilson Fisk. And our story begins. So basically, the Kingpin, Wilson Fisk, was meant to have a lovely life with his lover, Mary Typhoid. However, it went disastrously wrong during the Hellfire Gala. Now, he spoke to one of the other ambassadors of the nation's island, which is across the border from the UK, where I live. And he says, well, I'm not worth anything dead. However, they do end up all dead. And Wilson Fisk was one of those that managed to escape with the mutants, etc. He does plead that he will join Emma and the mutants in their war. Any enemy of theirs is an enemy of his. He clearly loves Mary. This isn't a relationship of convenience. It is one that he clearly wants to keep. And as such, you know what this means. Her assets are going to be taken, and he agrees to take them over quite swiftly. And we saw that he had become the custodian. Oh, that's the wrong word. No, I've said it wrong. He is a custodian. I can't even say it now. Of the Hellfire Gala, etc. And it's all been agreed. But make no mistakes, he makes his play as well. That Emma Frost once again works for him. So even though he has his some of his good notions in terms of this war, he will still be the Kingpin. So, as well as Gerry Duggan on the words, the writing, the story, Jim Toe and Xavier Pina are on the art. Marti Garcia is on the colors. Feces Clay and Cows is on the letters, and Tom Miller and Jay Bowen on the design. So we get this spill about Tony Stark, how he's hiding in plain sight, but at night he is creating an armor, and this is because Phelan, one of Orchis' power members, got hold of all of Stark's technology and turned it into Sentinels. So Kendall, who is really Emma Frost in disguise, takes Tony Stark aside and says, if Firestar is your person hidden undercover, you need to tell her there's an assassin on its way, a mutant assassin, and she is dead. So get that message across quite quickly. Meanwhile, we're starting to see Camilla's story in the background, which is she has joined sort of like Orchis funded program to gain some insight into them now, and she's trying to stay hidden as inhuman rather than a mutant undercover. So when this mutant is getting beaten up, she instinctively goes to do that. However, there is new ways, and she says, I'm recording you. However, this person is not a mutant. They've just got something unfortunately wrong with them. Something that I can't say, so I'm not even going to try it. So Kitty Pryde is made her way onto the Orchis platform with the intent to kill Firestar, and she will use the gates as the last course of action to escape, because she does not want to reveal that she can gain access to wherever she wants to the enemy. So she takes out the enemies quite quickly. Firestar's only just received the call from Tony Stark, so she realizes she's in sincere danger. Meanwhile, Kitty Pryde has not stopped on the killing spree. We've got more henchmen being killed, and she comes in crazy. So Firestar wants to tell her what's going on really, really quickly. and she tells us story about Jean, etc., and that Jean sent her on, she put the memories into status so that she could become this double agent and help the mutant kinds. And she says, you know, I know you don't believe me, but it's truth. And then Kitty Pryde says, are you kidding me? That's the most Jean Grey thing that could have happened in my life. And then they start talking. So the word of mouth is that I'm not going to tell anyone you're a spy for us. B, because that makes things look real, and you filing some of us every now and then will be good for your cover. C, make as much damage as you can, get us as much intel as you can. Oh, and remember, I can use the gates. I can come and get you, which is a surprise because Kitty Pryde before this wasn't able to use the gates, etc. So, and she also says, I hope you survive the experience, which is great because that is such an X-Men thing to say. Welcome to the X-Men. I hope you survive the experience. There is a letter from Angelina to her pup. I did not read that. So, White Queen and Shadow Cat obviously catch up and obviously talk about what happened, etc., and that she's undercover, etc. They also talk about Cyclops. It's important that Cyclops is back amongst the team so that when they're driving this over this cliff, you know, which is a reference to, oh my goodness, what is that film? Thelma and Louise. That they get some revenge for themselves, etc. So, but they're still on the hunt to get Scott back in them, because if you're going to be in this war, there's somebody you want by your side, Scott Summers, because he's going to come out to bat. You remember the time that they were all decimated? Well, Scott Summers was the person that brought him back from the brink of extinction. Not Xavier, not Magneto, not Neymar. That's a bit of a random one to throw in there. Not Jean Grey, she was dead. It was Scott friggin' Summers. Don't get me wrong, Hope Summers did a lot of the work by becoming part of the Phoenix, or joining with the Phoenix for that moment. So Emma Frost is about to leave Tony Stark. However, when she goes in there, she sees Fei Lang, and she is ready to do a number on him. And Tony Stark reminds her that don't take that ring off. Don't do this now, because this is a short-term plan, not a long-term plan. It does not help us. We lose if you do this. And she starts taking off her ring, and he says, you wouldn't dare to my mind. So she knees him in the nuts, and this leads to them probably the most ridiculous marriage ever to happen, because Phelan walks in and says, what are you doing, marrying the help? And that's what he's trying to do. So it all goes terribly wrong. Emma Frost's plan is off the table. She something has come up, and that's actually going to be continued in Invincible Iron Man 10, which I believe I pre-ordered. I could be going mad, I'm not entirely sure. And Shadow Cat says, me too. I tell you one thing that I'm enjoying, and bear in mind we're only a few issues into the Fall of X, and this new part of this Krakoa era. I'm loving the fact that the X-Men are sort of all split up, sort of all scattered, and they're all sort of doing various little things, and it's great. So I'm looking forward to seeing the next issue. I do hope, as much as I'm loving Shadow Cat's new role in this, I do hope that there's some focus on some of the other X-Men that are playing part in this as well, because it just makes it so much better. You know, it's like, I'll go back to when Magneto's Arctic island blew up and the X-Men were sort of scattered. You had Beast and Jean thinking that the rest of them were dead, back with Professor Xavier sort of thing. And then you had some of these X-Men, and they sort of traveled this journey back. That's what this feels. This will be a journey back to the Krakoa era. And that's the sort of thing that I enjoy. So anyway, I hope you like my video. If you do, please support my channel by subscribing. I really appreciate that. Thank you for taking the time to watch. Thank you to those that already subscribed. Make sure you look after yourself. Very important these days. And as always, embrace geekiness. Take care. Goodbye.